we got a camera guy holding fish.
Fish on.
Woo. Welcome to Fish On, a series built on real adventure.
Got invited this morning again by Paul for a great adventure down the Ivanhoe River.
Trailer a little bit closer to the door.
That is a beauty
Wowzers. Hey, it looks like if there's fish all over in here, Parrot.
It's a nice one.
Okay.
See the line there?
Yeah, nice fish. Wow. Wow.
Episode previews now available on YouTube.
Game on.
Good luck. Thank you. Good luck.
Yeah,
Sebastien, let's get this done.
Yeah. You're good?
Still early in the season and the water's still cold. We caught decent fish last weekend and the water just warmed up a bit. So I knew there would be some fish there, and we tried that spot with Crystel last night and we were on decent fish. So that's why we picked that spot early in the morning.
I was approached by Rolly Magnan, which was a director at Eastlink. And Rolly, being my neighbor at the cottage, came over one day and he said, listen, Paul, he says, Eastlink's community TV is really looking for a fishing show. He says, you know, would you be able to do that? Yeah, I said, yeah, you know what? I'll give it a go. Like, I fish all the time. We're going to fit it in and we're going to try. Water's warming up on the shoreline and the bait fish are heading in there. So essentially we're targeting the logs where the walleye are going to head in. Over that winter, the interesting part here is that in 2015, I turned 40 years old. And for my birthday, my wife we had a little get together in the garage, and she surprised me with a guided fishing trip with Scott Martin on Lake Okeechobee.
Yeah! Rover, baby. That was awesome.
And Scott was somebody that, you know, I really watched in the, at that time it was the FLW tour. And she actually got one of our co-workers to make a magazine cover all about fishing. And what was the name on the magazine cover that I have to this day? It was Fish On. And the water's actually warmed up quite a bit from last weekend. We're talking 4 or 5 degrees, if not more. We're using big bait this time of year. Walleye are off the spawn.
Yep.
And they're feeding up big time to get back to after their spawn, they're just feeding a lot.
Bit of current too, so early in the season, that's why we're here. Transition, bit of rock, main channel's not too far.
That's the inception of Fish On. I said, okay, listen, I'm doing a show. We got this done. Sarah had picked the name because the cover of the magazine was called Fish On. So since that day forward, I mean, we've been rolling with it, and we are Fish On.
Meanwhile, the wives have reached their spot and are getting set up.
There's fish. Okay, good. Let it go. Yes. It's not big, but he weighs something. That's right. Suckers! Suckers! Kiss the fish. Kiss him. Okay, let's do it again. That's awesome. Oh.
In 2017, we basically said, here we go, we're gonna do a pilot episode. We went to Kenogamissi Lake, which is my home lake. Love doing that lake, love fishing the lake. We were doing a lot of tournaments on that lake. So essentially it was John Labine and his daughter Ada, and myself and Max. And we went out to Kenogamissi Lake with the 2 Eastlink camera people, and you know, well, away we go. We shot the show. I don't believe to this day that show ever aired, but it was our pilot episode. And the following year, we started planning. Originally, our show was a competition style format. We actually challenged another team on the water, and we had the big boats. We were fishing big lakes. We toured all over northeastern Ontario, and we'd essentially challenge another team on the water to a day of fishing. And you know, for 6 years, 5 years, we had prizes, we had trophies. You were a winner when you won an episode of Fish On.
At Albert Sports and Workwear, we know what it takes to get the job done right. Whether you're on the job site or out in the wild, we've got you covered. From the top quality workwear that stands up to the toughest conditions, to the fishing and hunting gear that helps you make the most of your outdoor adventure, Albert's has everything you need to perform at your best. Albert Sports and Workwear, your one-stop shop for quality and great customer service.
I always thought that orange was one of the best color for spring, but I haven't been fishing in a while. So let's see if my old-time fishing tricks still works.
So it's super deep here, eh?
Yep.
I can't believe it, and we're so close to shore. It's pretty awesome. Like, we're 25 feet here.
When you look at where we are today, when we first shot that episode, I made up scripts, I had lines, I practiced, and I really wanted to get it right. I wanted to get everything I wanted to say in there. I'm Paul Etier, host of Eastlink TV's community television Fish On program. We have another great season for you this year where we're going to show you tips, tricks, and spots for you to catch more fish in local areas and lakes. And you know, so we had a challenge. It was Sebastien and I versus our wives, Crystel and Sarah. And we were on Kenogamissi Lake, May 24, I believe is the day. So that was the very first shoot that we did.
The team split up for today's Husbands versus Wives Fish On Challenge on Kenogamissi Lake.
You'll notice today that we didn't move very much spots. We stayed in a spot that kind of held fish, and I think that's because we knew there was fish there, because you don't leave fish to find fish. And I think that's a common thing in tournament angling and in angling fishing, is that you do not leave fish to go find other fish. Sebastien is a good fisherman, and at that time Sebastien camped at the cache. He had a camp at Kenogamissi. He fished it a lot. You know, I said, I know we're going to get fish, but again, it's May run. It's just the weekend after May run. So it was, you know, it was a little bit challenging, and like everything, weather is challenging, but you know what? We've never had to cancel one episode, and from that point on, we've shot. So Sarah and Crystel, Sebastien and I, we head over to one spot, and you know, I think it's 2-3 casts. Sebastien and I get some fish, and so we did not know what the other team had, but man, did we play it up. You know, we had a check-in call in the middle of those episodes at first, and you know, halfway through we'd call the other team where we had cell service, and we'd call the other team to check in, and sometimes it was fibbing, sometimes it was good, sometimes it was the truth. Yes.
How's it going? You're on speakerphone.
Yes.
How's it going?
It's going. How about you guys?
It's going. What a beautiful day.
No kidding, eh? It didn't rain?
No, we lucked out. It's calm and it's perfect.
Yeah, the problem is that they wouldn't give us any bit of information. You always try to see what, you know, you got to bump up the pressure here a little bit. So without any information, like, I really don't know what they have.
Yeah. And so they kept trying to feel us out about how's it going, and you should be worried. And we did a good job, I think, of making them think that we were doing a lot better than we were.
You know, we had that check-in call, and it was funny because, you know, it could either throw you off your game. If the other team had a pile of fish and you were struggling, it would throw you off the game. But we would fish tournament-style rules, 6 fish, 2 over 18. So if you can get your 2 overs, it was a game changer. So that day, Sebastien and I, sure enough, first episode of Fish On, we got our 2 overs, and we had some pretty good ones, maybe a 24 and a 22 that day, and it was just amazing. Oh, the anticipation just to know what they have in their live well is nerve-wracking. We still use those shots in promos where you have Crystel and Sarah's, you know, they have double headers on and they bring in fish in the boat. So I think, you know, to this day you'll see double header, and I have Sarah's voice in my mind just yelling that because they were on some fish as well.
Tip up, tip up, tip up, tip up.
That's a nice one.
You gotta get this on film. This is what's called a double header.
She was like, oh, I got a nice one. And then I thought she was talking about me. I'm like, no, I got a nice one. So we both...
So we're like double header. That was sweet that we both got a fish at the same moment. That was good times.
Check your streaming provider for times on the Wired to Fish network.